Just before we get started, remember we're going to be trading live market conditions. So anything we do here is not meant to be a signal, a buy or sell signal. I just want to show you the way I read the charts and how can we spot opportunities in the market and trade management techniques that can be applied in your own situations. Now, because of the time limit we have, I might go to lower time frames, but this same concept might be applied to all time frames. In fact, a lot of my trading is done based on larger time frames. So just keep that in mind. And with that, let's get started. And also, please, guys, just change in your settings so everyone can see what you type. That way will be more interesting for everyone if we can all see what you type, or attendees and panelists. Okay, let's start. I'm just getting started now, and I see I'm looking at the Euro USD and the dollar yen, and let me give you like whole perspective of what I'm seeing. So if on the daily chart, the Euro USD, we have I think we're still on this kind of down leg, but we're turning. We have had some bullish days, and if we go to lower time frames, we don't see a lot of supply here. All the way to this point right here. So we might see this on this bullish day, we might see a continuation to the upside. If we go to the 5-minute chart, we can see what has been today, this range sideways. This is yesterday, this movement here is yesterday. We've been moving sideways. And now just before we got started, we had this breakout right here. Now, if we go to a 1-minute chart, we can see this form a demand level. You can see the demand right here. So a retracement, what I'm looking, it's on a 5-minute chart, a retracement to that area right there. And that will be the area that I'll be looking to buy, okay, and position myself with the overall bias of the day. This might be just a breakout that might create a new uptrend. So here I got into this little trade based on this, what might be a support that hold and has pushed higher. If that fails, it didn't have a follow through. So if that fails, I have to decide if I either get out of this trade and take the loss of this little position right here, or if I will hold it all the way to the area that I'm expected price to go, and then I will go long here, and I will eventually fix this trade. And that's why I took a small position, because this is a low probability position, but I want to be in the trade in case I don't get the retracement. I'm looking to this area right here, and the market just continues to the upside. So that's what I got the trade in. But my setup on the 5-minute chart is a pullback to this area, and then I will buy. If there's no pullback, then the market might just go sideways before it decides to go to the upside. Okay, so that's when I'm on a trade on the 1-minute chart. The other thing the other pair I'm looking at is the dollar yen. If we go to the dailies, for me, we are on a very strong uptrend. But for that uptrend to continue, we need a little bit of pullback until we meet some demand, and then we continue to the upside. So if I zoom in to let's say to the 1-hour chart, I don't see a lot of demand here to stop this bearish day we're having. In fact, I do see supply here, but I don't see demand. So I think we can have a deeper bearish movement today. And if we go to a 5-minute chart, then we can see what has been today, this very nice downtrend. So what I'm looking now is for price to retrace, pull back, like it's doing right now, until a certain level. Now, what's that level? I have no idea. But if we go to the 1 minute chart, we can see, a little bit of supply there, or we can see a bit of some supply there, or maybe that supply there. So a pullback a pullback to those areas, those will be the areas where I will be looking to sell this market. And in fact, if this kind of retracement continues, like it's contracting right now, that's a perfect setup. And I like a lot that setup, which contracts to the supply area, and then from that point I will sell. So we could place some sell limit orders, but I just prefer to watch, especially if I'm in front of the charts. I like just watching and then waiting for price to reach to those areas, and then I will sell from there. Some of you might like using Fibonacci's or extra tools to identify where those levels are. So this is a great example for a valid use of Fibonacci's. So let's just pull it, and you can see how look. This is amazing. So the 23 level is around the area we draw, and the 38 is exactly where we draw it, and the 62 is this area right here. So with some practice, you will train your eyes to identify these areas where you want to be active in the market. But for now, I need just to wait for price to go deeper on the pullback to that area, or I can start, again, very, very small with my position and trying to look for opportunities on the 1 minute chart to start slowly building into a sell position. But right now it's a bit early to get in. I need prices to at least come to these levels before I start selling. So that's what I'm waiting for. In the meantime, I have this position right here, which is very undecisive, and trying to decide if it's going to break down or if it's going to go higher. By the way, my stop loss for this position needs to be right there. I don't want to hold the position for longer than that. So now we wait. I'm really on a waiting game right now. As long as the Euro USD stays above that red line, I'm fine with my trade. I don't have much to do. I just need to wait and see if finally the movement I'm looking for completes. You can see on the 5 minute chart a lot of wicks in the bottom and the downside. So it's a very, very undecisive market right now. So we'll wait. Let's see if we can find where this uplift might stop. Let's go to the hourly chart. Let's see if we can find, in case there is follow through, let's see where will that end. We can see there was some supply here. Can you see the supply? But you see this tail here. Let me zoom in a little bit. So we had this supply, okay, this red candle, but it was tested already. So I don't really see much, maybe to these lines right there. So if price gains momentum and really starts going and gains momentum to the upside, it might go all the way to probably those levels right there. So we need to wait and see. Hasn't been a lot of movement and volatility, so I'm not sure it's going to get there. But if we measure, let's say this leg, that was 80 pips. So if we have a similar run now from this point, 80 pips would be, yeah, exactly there where I place the take profit line. So let's just wait. we'll see how that turns. And if not, of course, I will see how market behaves when it gets to this area, and I might buy to that position. And if not, I'll just take the loss. It's not a big deal. Now let me see how's the dollar yen going. Okay, I might have missed that one. Okay, if it goes up, would keep compressing. So hopefully it goes, gives me the pullback I'm looking for and doesn't start running to the downside. That would be I guess I would have missed the trade, I guess. Let me see the chat a little bit. Brian, you took a buy at, I guess you're speaking about the dollar yen, 110.42. And Sankar, Euro New Zealand, from a higher low, higher high, or sharp price broke down trend line before with this long position. What do you think? Euro New Zealand, you said? I don't think I have it here. Let's. Yeah, we'll take a few minutes this to load. So let's see how that goes. Brian, please change your settings so everyone can see what you type. It's very interesting. You have a sell 18.28 on Euro USD. So about the same point I bought, you, Brian, sold, which is great if that's what your analysis is saying. And that's what I like about the market. I think we can see the market differently and both make money. So I see the arguments for going short. So if that's your strategy, hang in there. Fadi, please again change your settings so everyone can see what you typed. It's a great question. What's the best time frame to start trading supply and demand for beginners? I recommend to go to higher time frames. 1 hour and above. Supply and demand levels are more clear and easy to spot on the hourly chart, 4-hour chart, daily chart. And also you don't have to be in front of the chart and actively manage your trades. So you can set pending orders and trade supply and demand. Okay, I think I missed that train. I think this is going. That was the movement I was waiting for. This might just keep going down. The only good thing is that if this really goes down and there's a correlation in movement on dollar pairs, so my Euro USD position should go up. So let's wait and see. I'm currently break even, so not much. Daniel asks if Kiwi dollar there's a selling opportunity there. So Daniel, please tell me what time frame are you looking at. But before you do that, change your settings so everyone can see. And then I'll give you my point of view. But depends on the time frame, I guess. Daniel, so you're in lower time frames, M5, and you're looking to sell. Yeah, I mean, let's see the daily. So we might form on the hourly. We kind of broke. This is a lower than this one. So this might form a Quasimodo that would be a selling pattern. And if you go to the 5-minute charts, I guess there's some, there's some resistance there that might be forming. And there's the supply. So that's a great place to sell. I don't know if this is going to hold. But yeah, I guess there's an argument for selling here as well. Just want to see. Because this kind of sharp movement to the upside tends to have some continuation. So let me see how other charts look. Like this V shape, you see this, it's a very popular bottoming shape. So there might be some continuation to the upside. But who knows? This might hold and then the reversal. I don't know. I don't know what. I think I would stay in the sidelines. So Nicholas would wait for price to go to the supply and then would short it. Okay, let's see what's going on. Is the market going to give us anything? Okay, so we clearly missed the trade here. Now we can try to join the trade, correct? So if we go to the hourly chart, we can, I'm sorry, to the 1-minute chart, I can wait now for prices to come to the breaking point, and that's a tiny supply right there. And if I have a retracement to that area, I can start shorting. See if there's anything else. I think someone asked about CAD pairs. CAD pairs have been tricky because the Canadian has been kind of strong lately. So for example, on the dollar CAD, we have been following this channel. So on pairs where the dollar has strengthened already, if we see we can see the strengthening of the dollar against the yen or against the franc. Let's see the franc. Okay, we haven't seen that power on the dollar against the Canadian pairs. So we haven't seen that push higher. So it has been forming, this channel and has been respecting it. I am very tempted to start buying this market, but I need prices to go lower and then buy, especially because of the breaks. The lows have been lower than previous lows, but not that significantly. And there's, if we go back, back in time. So we're trading here, and we have this demand right there, and of course, this demand. Now let's go back. Okay, so you see, even if we have a break of these lows, we will very soon meet this red line, which is the previous demand that I just showed you. So I'm really expecting a push higher of the dollar against the CAD, but that's, time will tell, I guess. Yeah, this might form a reverse head and shoulders. That you're right. If it goes a bit lower, that would be, and then pushes higher, that would be a reversal pattern. But again, I'm not very worried about a new push lower, because I know there's demand right there. So even if it sounds like counterintuitive, I think I want to be buying this pair. In the meantime, in the long term, in the short term, we have been, struggling to go up. Look at this movement, and it has very easily gone down. So there's supply here, and there's other supply. So short term, we're still like neutral, bearish, but long term, I wanna position myself for the next movement, which I believe is an uplink. Sankar, I'm sorry. Please repaste your question, because I lost it and I don't know where is it now. There's a lot of texting. Type it again, and we'll discuss it. Okay, it worries me that the movement I was planning for on the dollar yen, it is happening, and it's not happening on the euro USD. So this really needs to go, start moving in any direction. No, that's a pole. This might be forming a flag. And then we need a continuation, correct? This rally, base, and either drop or rally. If it drops, and that would be against our reading, and if it rallies, that would be good for our trading. Now, if you are scalpers, your take profits, this is your take profit zone. Okay, so you want another 2 pips or something, and that's your target zone if you're scalping. And if you want to hold this and swing it, then you leave it without a take profit and let it run. The problem and the challenge with the Euro USD specifically is that both the dollar and the Euro has been kind of weak. So there's not a lot of movement lately. But I think after a large sideways movement like that, we're on the break of that sideways movement, there should be some follow through to the upside. So that's what I'm banking on. Okay, Sankar, Euro New Zealand daily. I think I pulled that. Yeah. Okay, daily. Higher highs and higher lows, and now forming a higher low to a new higher high. Higher low to a new higher high. Okay. On the 1 hour chart, price broke the down trend line and waiting to retest to go long. 1 hour chart. Okay. I guess that's your kind of your trend line. Broke it, retracing, and you want to go long. Yeah, great reading. Again, the demand area is the breaking point. Okay, you can see here the demand. So on a perfect world, you want prices to go to that area, and then you can join the bullish trend. I don't see a lot of, of course, there's resistance here, and that's why we're seeing this pullback, this retracement. But if you want to go long, I actually like your setup. Even on the daily, it's very clear. We have this series of daily bearish days, and we finally on a break higher. So I like your reading. If you want trying to go long, I like it. If it goes to this area, that's classic and perfect. Hopefully it gets there. It might just continue. If you see the previous behavior, we had a push higher and then sideways movement, little push higher, sideways movement. Now we have push higher. So this might move sideways and then continue to the upside instead of pulling back and then continue up to the upside. So just, I don't know, make sure you don't miss the trade. But great analysis. Okay, looks like we're finally getting the movement we're waiting for. Again, if you're a scalper, that's your entry, that's your exit. Okay, this is your take profit for scalping. If you want to swing this trade, you just let it run. This is a great moment for adjusting stop losses. Okay, there's no, I don't want to be holding this longer. If this goes against me, I can adjust now my stop loss to these areas. If we do see like powerful continuation to the upside, I might trail my stop even more for lessening risk. But I really want this candle to continue higher and not start forming tails and downside movement. $1. do I think pound dollar can get to this area? My answer is, I hope I knew. If I knew, I would go all in, guys. I have no idea. Like fundamentally, there's arguments for this going up and down, you know, for a dollar strengthening or a dollar weakening. We had to push lower, and then we failed to continue to follow through to the downside. So this might be forming a reversal, the daily. But if we zoom in again, we see supply forming. There's some demand in case prices go down. So we also have demand to stop that drop. So I have no idea. I really try to content myself from expecting something from the market or trying to do projections or forecasting the market. I try to rely more and react to what the market is giving me and not trying to dictate what I think it's the market going to do. And then I try to look, then I get biased because I want to be right, correct? So I try not to do that. Let's look at the Aussie dollar. Where is it? Hourly is ranging. 5-minute chart, there might be a possible supply to sell into. Yeah, I see the supply. Yeah, so if price goes there, that would be a nice sell. I like to see how prices go there. Because based on the daily, you know, we have this rejection to the break. We have a false break on the daily, and you know, these might have some continuation to the upside. So supplies on larger time frames, like hourly and higher, would be more relevant than those on lower charts. So this is a valid sell. Just watch and see how prices get there, and then decide, look for confirmation to sell if you want to sell. Okay, guys, we have spoke about getting consistent in the market, and you know, several weeks now we have said, okay, let's try to make 10 pips in our session, correct? We have an hour to make 10 pips, which sounds like little, but we're pulling off 10 pips based off the 1 minute chart and 5-minute chart, which is not bad. And all we want to accomplish is to get consistent. Once we get to that point, we will keep taking same trades, only with more lot size as you grow your accounts, correct? So I think we have done that many weeks now consecutively, and we have done that also today. I do not advise to make for yourself like arbitrary objectives, like a certain amount of pips or something, but try to make consistent results in the market. And that's a great exercise for you and your strategy. So if I wanna keep managing this trade, I can take profits. I can do nothing. You know, if any, this might pull back. You know, it's natural for market if it's going to continue up, needs to do some retracements. So it might pull back to this area and then continue. I need to be ready for that pullback and not just getting scared or anxious and, you know, taking profits because it started going against me. It's very natural to expect a pullback to the breaking point before it continues in your favor. So we can trail our stops. Okay, we can bring it even closer, or, you know, on a risk-free position, and then let the trade run. So there's many ways to manage open trades, and that would be very individual decisions. Okay, so I missed the dollar yen, and that was a nicer trade, I guess. But at least we got the euro dollar trade. And I think I don't have much more than that. I don't see any pairs getting to key levels. Yes, Daniel, go to the YouTube channel. No, it's a great time for those kind of questions where we have not much to do. Go to our YouTube channel, and there's a little tutorial on the MT5. It's very similar to the MT4. It just has, you know, more time frames and extra data and you know, depth of market, all kind of, you know, things you can find there. And also a quick, you know, search on YouTube or Google, you will find more features. But it's very, very similar to the MT4. Guys, I think we'll wrap up. We don't have much going on, actually. You know, we're on a once we're in a winning position. So now I want to give time to the trade. I'm always, you know, letting the markets go in my favor for a long time. Correct? We're always used to do that. So now I want to give the opportunity to the market to move in my favor as much as possible. Once I realize it's going in my favor and it has doing what I thought it would do. So there's not much to do. It might continue higher, it might go back, and I might close it break even or with a little profit. But there's nothing else I can do right now, just waiting and watching and letting it run. So I hope you got a little insight of how I read the markets and how I execute the trades. And I'll see you next week, guys. Thanks for coming, and have good trading. Bye-bye.